What's good, everybody? Have I got some stories for you today? Let's get into some malicious compliance. Just pay the $15 fine. So I work at a school library, right? We rent out chargers for phones and laptops upon request for a few hours, but they have relatively steep fines for being returned late. Usually I waive the fines, especially if it is returned less than an hour after it was due. In comes one guy, let's call him H, who is a serial laptop charger renter, almost every day. Well, a few days ago, he accidentally brought the charger home with him. Now, our fines are $1.50 an hour, which was at about $20 total when he called in the next day. He asked me if he would be fined. I knew him, so I was willing to waive his fine, but I couldn't tell him over the phone because he might come back at a time when I'm not working and some of the other librarians are less lax about fines. So I tell him, currently, your fine is at $25, but if you bring it in, then we can discuss it further. I'm sure we can figure something out. He hangs up, and I assume he would be coming in. 2 days later, H comes waltzing up to my desk and sets a laptop charger down in front of me, the very same one he took 3 days prior. I scanned it in and told him, "You have an $85 fine on your account." "What? It was at $25 when I called." "That was 2 days ago. The fine is by the hour." "You didn't tell me that." The fine info is taped on the side of the charger. Tell you what, I'll go ahead and waive everything but that first $25, alright? You just have to pay the fine you thought you'd pay. "But the guy on the phone told me he would waive it." "I didn't tell him that. I'm waiving the $60, so you only have to pay $25. "I want to talk to your boss." Now at this point, I should mention that we aren't strictly allowed to waive fines. It's just that the library can't tell a difference between a fine waived by a manager or just an employee. I was being generous. "If I bring my manager in here, you'll just have to pay the whole fine." "I want to talk to him." So I bring in my manager. After hearing the situation, my manager bluntly says, "It's an $85 fine. Will that be cash or card?" He stammered and walked out of the library. It's okay though, he just can't check out books or graduate until the fine is paid. C'est la vie. Delivery and logistics. I have spent the majority of my career as an adult in customer service related fields, particularly dealing with angry customers. I spent a lot of time knowing how to soft touch to de-escalate issues with particularly irate customers. Mind you, I had good days and bad days, and previous reps promising the moon and leaving me and my team stuck with the fallout. Also, I've got a bit of an accent from the Southeast US. With that backstory out of the way, this is a logistics delivery story, packages and food. C equals customer, I'm me, and S equals supervisor. Me, happy, bouncing, smiling voice. Yes, you can tell. "Hi, thanks for calling logistics. How can I help you today?"
"You can get my to me now."
Customer all but shrieks at me, immediately turning down the volume on my headset on my end. "I'm sorry, let me access your account so we can see how I can help. Can I get your name, please?" The computer did not auto-populate the customer's info.
"You know my name. It's right there on your stupid computer."
Again with the shrieking. "Ma'am, I apologize, but your name did not come up, nor did your account when your call came through to me," I tried to explain.
"That's stupid."
Insert expletive for racial slur regarding a popular outsourcing country.
"Was supposed to tell you what was going on? What the f***?"
I am, for the most part, a very laid-back person. I understand racial stereotypes. I often play the stereotype thing to my advantage. Southern Belle style, to get people to talk to me like I'm a human being. I'm meanwhile doing a backtrace on who transferred the call to me, leading me to the small side chat while I basically ignored the customer while they cussed, cueing in at certain words, repeating in my own words what they were saying so they made sure I understood. I finally got the information from the transferring agent, who was from Canada, mind you, just a thick accent when speaking, SMH. And this lady is yelling to
"Screw it, just cancel my delivery then."
I'd pinpointed the driver and the package to outside of the customer's home. "Ma'am, if you want..."
"No, I said cancel my order now."
Customer demands and hangs up on me. I cancel the delivery and send a heads up to the driver to bypass delivery and return the package to the delivery facility at the end of their shift and apologize for the inconvenience. I send the confirmation email to the customer confirming the cancellation as we cannot reverse the cancellation and wish her a pleasant evening. 2 days later, I get a conference ping from my supervisor. He asked me what happened. I pulled up the conversation he was referring to and asked if he had heard the conversation and where I had tried to tell her the driver was actually at the address to drop off the package in question when she demanded that I cancel the order immediately. Apparently she called back demanding to speak with me because the driver, upon receiving a ping from me to cancel the delivery, actually picked her box back up and took it back to his truck and left. I couldn't help but to giggle. "She told me to cancel her delivery, sir." I've worked customer service before, and no matter how nice you are to some people, they can just tear right to your soul for no reason. "I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid my contract won't let me do that." I started out as a full-time apprentice, and after the first year I was kept on and given a 20-hour contract. Despite this, I was almost always working full-time and in several cases working 60 plus hours a week. The reason I was given a 20-hour contract was A, in case money issues they could force my hours down, and B, keep my holiday allowance down so they didn't have to pay as many. If you work full-time in the UK, you get 28 days paid holiday, but on 20 hours over 3 days, you only receive 17. Did I mention Dave, the boss, was really mean with money and very hard on his staff? Now, my contract that Dave had written explicitly stated that during your resignation period, the company requires you to take all outstanding holiday days. That during your resignation period, you will not be offered any overtime. My 20 hours had to be done over 3 days, and that I must give 8 weeks or more notice when resigning. He was very strict about the contract, any infringement, and I could get warnings or dismissed. Some of the company rules were very petty, such as I must answer the phone, good time of day, business name, annual antics speaking. How may I help? I once said, how can I help? I got a 15-minute lecture about how important it is to say may, not can. I totally daydreamed my entire way through, no idea what nonsense he was spouting. I couldn't really afford to go on holidays, and I hated just moping about the house, which resulted in me hardly ever using my holidays except forced bank holidays. I also racked up a few loo days when money was tight. About a year later, I decided I've had enough of Dave and his nonsense. We argued over lots of topics, and he gave me 2 warnings for some other things. One of them I kinda deserved in hindsight, but it was provoked. Anyway, I give Dave my 8-week notice via email and then tell him that I'm not coming in anymore. Dave flips his lid. How dare I not come in during my resignation period? Do I realize that he's not going to pay me my due holiday pay if I breach my contract, and so on. I even get a few calls, which I ignore. My response. Hi Dave, as per the contract you gave me, I am required to take all of my remaining leave during my resignation period. I have 12 days of holiday left and 12 loo days, giving me 24 days to take. Given that my contract is only for 3 days a week and I have to give 8 weeks notice, this leaves me with exactly 24 working days left. I am also required to not work any overtime. This means that I cannot come into work anymore without being in breach of my contract. Since I'm following my contract exactly, I listed the contract subsections here. Any non-payment would be a breach by you, and I am prepared to take this to an independent legal complaints committee if necessary. Dave did not reply, but I did receive all of my holiday pay on time. No leaving bonus or anything. I think I became an unperson so far as Dave was concerned. You want to tell people what Halloween costume is okay? Okay. I work at a pizzeria that has a few crappy employees. I have an annoying coworker there. Let's call her AC, which is the general manager's stepsister. The sole reason why she still works there is because of her brother. She is honestly the worst worker I've ever met. She takes advantage of who she's related to and also uses the race card. AC is biracial, half white, half black. There has not been one shift I've worked with her that she hasn't been extremely late. She wears whatever the hell she wants, doesn't stick to the uniform, eats in front of customers, and is rude to employees and customers. She's always offended about something, brings up hers and others' race, and calls people racist on a daily basis for things that really aren't racist. I'm tired of her BS. It's close to Halloween and AC is ranting about how pissed she is going to be when people are going to be dressing up in costumes culturally appropriating races, and how she is going to flip out if she sees white bitches dressed as a candy skulls. Not her culture for her to be offended for, but lol, okay. Our manager sends us an email stating that we get to dress up for Halloween at work, and I get really excited. On Halloween, I dress up as the best goddamn sugar skull I've ever been in my life. It took me hours to finish my makeup. I walk into work and I wait for AC to walk in, late. When she arrives, she looks at me and looks like she is going to explode with anger. AC walks up to me and says, "Why the f do you think that's okay?" And I reply with, "Well, as a half white, half Mexican woman, I think I'm embracing my heritage." "What the f are you doing?" She looked like she died inside and haven't tried anything like that with me since. TLDR, annoying coworker racially profiled me wrong and looked like an idiot while trying to accuse me of culturally appropriating my own culture. Yeah, that definitely just sounds like someone that's just mad at the world. Not anything in general, just mad at the world. Customer demands I follow every single step in my cashier protocol. So I do. So I work in retail as a temp and regularly work the cash register. Now, our shop has a loyalty card, which also works with a bunch of other shops, and a sticker collecting campaign. 1 sticker for each €5 spent, and 20 stickers you get a discount on certain items from whatever producer partners up for the campaign. This is important for later. Enter annoyed customer, AC from now on. Things started off difficult. The customer in front of her had an item with a torn barcode, which meant that I had to run back into the store to check the price. AC was pissed right away, letting out a huge sigh, asking if I couldn't go faster, complaining about her ice cream melting and if I couldn't just let her go before the other customer, which would have required me to call my shift manager to cancel the other customer's products. Anyway, I finish off the other customer and AC gets her turn. I'm slightly pissed, so I didn't smile as much as I usually do and let out a very gentle sigh, and that's when AC goes all in on me.
Don't you know the cashier protocol? You have to be friendly towards your customers, you rude idiot.
Now, remember the loyalty card from the beginning. Asking whether a customer had one was part of our cashier protocol, though I do make exceptions depending on how I read the customer or if I know that they don't have one. So partially to annoy her and partially because it was my job, I was about to ask when AC cuts me off.
Also, you have to ask me whether or not I have a loyalty card.
So I do, and she answers,
No, and stop annoying me with that shit.
At this point, I am truly pissed, but I haven't forgotten what she said about the cashier protocol, and to my luck, she decides to pay with her credit card and is required to sign her bill. At this point, she seems to be in a hurry. Before I could, she snatches the credit card away as soon as the machine beeps, and starts putting it away. Cue the malicious compliance. Excuse me, you still have to sign here. Also, the cashier protocol dictates that I compare the signature on the bill with the signature on your credit card. So if you could please give me the card again. She throws me a deadly glare, and I just give her the, sorry, it's part of protocol, shoulder shrug as she hands me her card, and I swear, I only looked at it for 2 or 3 seconds longer than I usually would, but I could see in her face that it must have felt like hours for her. I give her back the card and follow it up with, would you like some loyalty stickers too? Also part of the protocol. And at this point, she just storms off in anger. Thankfully, I have never encountered her again. Sounds like she got what she deserved, being super pushy. Yells at her for not telling her about the loyalty card, and then screams that she doesn't want to be annoyed by it. Oh man. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you all enjoyed this episode. We'll catch y'all next time. Peace.